stay standing. Yeah, before I forget, so I always forget this. If you're looking for me, you can find me at wizeman.com. I always forget to get frustrated. Wizeman.com, wizemanmusic.com, WIZEMANMUZIC. So replace the S's with a Z, you're fine. All right, so this first song, well, before I tell you about this, I'm going to tell you about me. Everybody don't know me. My name is Wizeman. I chose that name because the Bible says he who wins souls is wise. And, you know, I remember when I was coming up, this particular song kind of give you some of my background, but I'm going to tell you a bit about my background. You know, yeah, my mom raised me. She did her best to raise me in church. But, you know, I still grew up in an environment where it wasn't the best environment. You know, people in the hood doing things, and we had a lot of stuff going on in the hood. I mean, you had drive-bys, you had crime, but, you know, she did her best to try to keep me, you know, sheltered from that environment, even though I still made bad choices. And I can tell you one of these bad choices I made. I remember I was in New Orleans with my family member, and he deep in the game, and I was, you know, right there with him all the time. Because I was on the fence. You know, am I going to do this full-fledged? What am I going to do? And while I'm out there in New Orleans, you know, this voice, it was just feeling like, you need to leave now. And I'm just sitting there like, touching with it. So, mind you, I hung out there all the time. I mean, we were there. I mean, you could see money, drugs, you name it, it's there. So, I went to my family member. I said, look, man, I gotta go. Where you going? I said, man, I don't know. I said, I think we need to start going to church. What? There you go with all that. Why are you talking like that? I said, man, look, I need to start going back to church. I don't know what. You know what? I ain't finna. You be back. I don't know. Go get your head together. I don't know why you tripping like that. You be back. And so I walked away from him. It was on Bourbon Street. I walked away from him, and I was thinking like, I don't think I'm gonna be back. Because it was only strong, like, you need to get away from here. Well, I did that. A week later, the feds came and everybody went to jail. And I thought about this too after I told this testimony one time before. Not one time did anybody from law enforcement come looking for me to ask me to give them a name or anything. And he went from jail to jail because they were saying, you gotta give us a name. And he refused to give them a name. But it just shows you, you know, everybody has a choice to make in his life. And I made a good choice. Yeah, mama, that happened. I'm grown now, I can't catch no whoopings. So, look, I made a good choice, you know, and I didn't have to make that choice, but I did. And I'm looking at my life because of that choice. From that moment forward, man, you know, God has never stopped, you know, blessing. So this first song is about people who just always waiting to make a decision and not realizing that tomorrow, it just might be too late, man. Here we go. Come, Jenny, right there. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Lights out. Hang up on and watch me. Look, I heard about the man in the sky. Well, you must thank me. Tell it tomorrow. I'll holler at him tomorrow. Look, I know I need to get my life right before my soul hit the stars. Look, you can catch me in the back when the deal going down. Thinking to myself, what if Jesus comes back now? Anyway, I'm rolling with it, get my pockets swole with it. Looking for my way out against these gangsters, it's the trip. They are thinking that maybe they said the life I should be living. Mama praying that one day my only son would be a Christian. I'm impressed with preachers in their pulpit catching cases. I'm really with these soldiers and their dull doctored faces. It's best you keep your mind on me, preaching when you see me. You want to speak my language, bring that power that can free me. demons got me bound. But if I don't get my hustle, my pockets go down. That's gangsta mentality, the only way I know to live. I got my blessings, boy, I'm still here. I keep that bang on me and my Bible on the shelf. Now thinking about reversing, my life will be much better. Lights out, ain't nobody watching me. Look, I heard all the rain in the sky, really must me. Tell me tomorrow, I'll holler at you tomorrow. Look, I know I need to get my life right before my soul hits the stars. Look, gangsta bitch, y'all got my life real good. If these ninjas act out, what y'all won't do? They need to give their life to Jesus. Nah, bro, I'm cool, I'm on the mission, focus, paper, taking these gangsters back to school. Y'all can stay there on the block, moving down banks at a time. You can catch me at the front yard, pushing real away. Huh? Say, bro, you didn't know? I got two lifestyles, just like some of the preachers in the pulpit with a vibe. And the boy might be ashamed of making God look like a joke. Not me, because if I did it, I'ma live it like I know. Like God is the biggest thing this boy has ever seen. If I get up off these streets, man, what can Jesus do for me? I'm too deep in my sins. I'm struggling within. I wonder if Jesus got my back in my dying sin. Man, I be hearing voices, and I be seeing demons at night. And I can't believe he told me that. Don't watch business, alright? Lights out. Ain't nobody watching me. Look, I heard about the man in the sky, what he was thanking me. Tell me tomorrow, I'll holler at him tomorrow. Look, I know I need to get my life right before my soul hits the stars. Last verse, I feel my life has got a curse. Cause every time I go to church, bro, it gets worse. Deep down inside, I think about God all the time. I can't reach it cause that devil keep me in the bind. I'm making moves with these soldiers, whoa, and don't quit, the game got me on lock. Dog, I'm too deep in this, if I can find a way out, now that could be a plus. But if I do, you better believe that witness protection is a must. Cause they'll come looking for me, then what can Jesus do for me? My last ride might be the last, so please say a prayer for me. And you put Jesus on my mind. If he can really help me, tonight will be the time. If I don't make it back, please tell mama I tried. King Jesus, if you can hear me, I need your help tonight. If you get me out of this life, I give you my heart tonight. King Jesus. Woo! Lights out. Ain't nobody watching me. I heard about the man in the sky, what he was thanking me. Tell me tomorrow, I'll holler at him tomorrow. I know I need to get my life right before my soul hits the stars. If I was you, I wouldn't wait. I said tomorrow's promised nobody. Not me, not you, not nobody. It ain't promised, man. It ain't promised. Y'all give God a hand. God a hand. So look, so y'all know I told you, I left the life alone. I was like, it ain't the life for me. I'm gonna go ahead and so, even after I made that decision, I still didn't give my life totally over to God. Being real with you. So I remember being in church one day, and I challenged God that day. I said, look, man, I really don't know if you're real, but if you are real, I need something to happen in this church now. Like, I told him, I don't care if a cow come out the pasture, come talk to me. I don't care if an angel come through the ceiling. I don't care if you take my soul from my body and look me eye to eye. Something got to happen here tonight, or you can forget about me. I'm going back to the streets. That's what I said. Don't challenge God. Don't do it, but you better be ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready because I remember being in that church and I heard them singing these songs. I don't know these songs they're singing. I never heard these songs. So, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know who this is. And so they dim the lights. And so I hear this voice say, lift your hands. If who? And so then the thought hit me, you can't leave you unless you gave it 100%. Because if you give it 100%, and you can walk out here with your head high and say, he ain't real. So I said, all right, then. And did that. And then I started looking around like, I don't know, nobody looking at me, man. So I went and found me a corner in the back. So now I'm in the corner in the dark, like this area. Now I'm looking at these songs. I don't even know this song. It's like, trying to sing the song. All right, I'm just trying to read the screen and sing the song. But while I was doing that, I wasn't paying attention. Because I knew that the screen went out. The screen went out. And when the screen went out, they were still singing. And I realized I'm still singing with them. Like, man, what you doing? Go sit down. What you doing? You don't know this music, man. What you doing? So I remember that's the last thing I remember. Be honest with you. That's the last thing I remember. Because when the lights came on, somehow I was on the other side of the church and I'm on the floor. I'm trying to figure out how I get on the floor. And God walked past me, he said, man, I said, man, what's wrong with me? He said, man, that's God all over you, bro. You need to drink that. I said, man, get me out of here. And so people had to come pick me up and carry me out the building. I could not use my legs, they were gone. So I went, lay down, went to sleep. I woke up the next morning. I was like, man, I was tripping. Man, they must have stuck me with something. Man, these church people, man, I knew something. So I got out of my bed, and as soon as I got out of my bed, boom, same thing last night, hit me again the next morning. I hit the floor. I could not do one push-up. I can work out with 225 bench press. I couldn't do one push-up. And I'm sitting there like, and I'm trying to do a push-up, but I'm not, because the glow rate is so strong, it's almost like my arm's gonna break. And I remember the last night, the night before, I had challenged God. And it hit me, and I said, all right, you got me, all right? And when I said that, it lifted off of me. Man, all the hair stood on the back of my head. I jumped out, ran outside. Man, Jesus is coming back. I had never felt that in my life. So this song I'm gonna do for y'all, I'll tell you a little bit about that experience. Let's run it. Y'all stood up for the last one. You might want to stand up for this one. Yeah. Woo! See, everybody don't know Jesus real. But I can tell you right now, I know Jesus real. I lost that battle with God. And I'm so glad I did. Check it out. Jesus is like, whoa, Jesus is like, Jesus is like, Jesus is like, man, that feels good. Jesus is like, whoa, Jesus is like, ooh, Jesus is like, man, that feels good. Jesus is like, whoa, ooh, man, that feels good. Jesus is like, Jesus is like, Jesus is like, one day I stepped up in the church house. Didn't know what I was looking for to turn me out. Man, be the man that I see in retreat. I fall in my life like a dope beat. Over beat down gangster with 20 bows. Bragging about every city, how I got the O's. I'm looking for a change. I want to preach it. I got a lot of my mind and Jesus on my back. Jesus is right. Jesus is right. Jesus is right. Woo! Jesus is right. Oh! Ooh! Man, that feels good. Jesus is right. 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 Good. Looking at my eyes, they're rolling like a penny wheel. I ain't waiting for the people to catch the jelly, religion. Man, Jesus, if you real, I need to touch. I ain't come to move and holler just to pass a book. I need to know the real. I'm trying to get the grace. But if you don't show up God, I'll be the devil's plate. Just want to make sure we on the same page. I hope you hear voice they sinner because they're trying to pray. Yeah, these songs they singing, man, I can't relate. Don't give me a script, I need to show you how to praise. Yeah, I'm seeing people fall and say they know the spirit. God, I don't believe even though you in the building. I got my hands up, oh, I'm not the touch. Mama said it was real, but bro, not this much. Oh God, this love I feel is too strong. Somebody tell me what's happening, cause I'm my hands up. Jesus is like, Jesus is like, Jesus is like, man, that feels good. Jesus is like, Jesus is like, Jesus is like, man, that feels good. Jesus is like, holy from my poverty body. All I wanna do is feel the spirit touch me. Holy Spirit, move and groove and break me. I wanna get lost in you, so take me to a place that my natural mind can't see. It feels so good to have Jesus inside, living in my heart, brought me so guys. I just wanna get him going and live right, so I can stay drunk in Jesus and just sigh. Jesus is good. Jesus is love. Jesus is life. Jesus is life. Man, that feels good. Jesus is life. Jesus is life. Jesus is life. Man, that feels good. Jesus is life.